Society has masterfully crafted an illusion so convincing that most people go their entire lives without ever questioning it. You are told you are free. You are told you can achieve anything. You are told that if you work hard, follow the rules, and stay disciplined, success will be yours. But reality paints a very different picture. The freedom you believe you have is nothing more than a carefully designed illusion, a mirage that keeps you compliant while you unknowingly live in servitude. From the moment you are born, the system molds you. It doesn't shape you into an independent thinker or a creator of wealth. It conditions you to be a follower. You are placed into a school system that does not teach financial intelligence, leadership, or self-reliance. Instead, it teaches you obedience. You are rewarded for memorizing information rather than understanding how to apply knowledge in real life. You are trained to raise your hand, ask for permission, and conform to authority. Those who question the system, those who challenge the status quo, are labeled as troublemakers, while those who submit are praised. As you grow older, the chains tighten. You are funneled into the next stage of control, the workforce. You are encouraged to pursue higher education, which often comes with a massive financial burden in the form of student loans. The logic is simple. Go to school, get a degree, get a job, and work hard until you can eventually retire. But by the time most people realize this cycle is flawed, they are already trapped by financial obligations, debt, and the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle. The illusion of freedom convinces you that you are making choices, but in reality, the choices are pre-designed to benefit those at the top while keeping you struggling. Your paycheck is a leash. You work long hours, often at jobs that drain you physically and mentally, yet you are never truly in control. Your salary is just enough to keep you afloat, never enough to set you free. Taxes, inflation, and the cost of living continuously rise, ensuring that you can never get ahead. If you stop working, your income stops. If you fall behind, you are punished. The wealthy, on the other hand, operate under a completely different set of rules. They don't trade time for money, they make money work for them. But this isn't something the system wants you to understand, because the moment you do, you become a threat. Even outside of work, the illusion persists. You are distracted by entertainment, social media, and consumer culture. You are told that happiness comes from material possessions, from the newest gadgets, the most expensive brands, the latest trends. This is intentional. As long as you are focused on consuming, you are not focused on creating wealth, building power, or escaping the system. Every advertisement, every piece of media, every corporate message reinforces the idea that you need to keep spending, keep working, and keep playing by the rules. The government, corporations, and financial institutions all play their part in maintaining this grand illusion. The education system keeps you uninformed, the job market keeps you dependent, the financial system keeps you in debt, the media keeps you distracted, and the worst part, most people defend this system even when it's working against them because they have been conditioned to believe that this is the only way. They will argue that working a steady job is security, that taking risks is reckless, that questioning authority is dangerous. This is not an accident. It is by design. True freedom comes from knowledge and action. Until you understand how the system truly operates, you will remain controlled. The moment you wake up, the moment you start seeing through the illusion, everything changes. But knowledge alone is not enough. You must act. You must stop thinking like a pawn and start moving like a king. The system is not designed to set you free, but you have the power to break free the moment you decide to stop playing by its rules. The education system is one of the greatest scams ever created, yet most people never question it. From a young age, you are placed in an institution that claims to prepare you for the future, but what it really does is mold you into a compliant worker. The system is not designed to teach you how to create wealth, how to build businesses, or how to achieve financial independence. Instead, it conditions you to follow instructions, memorize information, and accept authority without question. It is a factory designed to mass produce employees, not leaders. Think about what you were taught in school. You spent years learning about abstract subjects, memorizing dates, formulas, and theories that have little to no application in the real world. You were never taught how money works, how to invest, how to negotiate, or how to think independently. The reason is simple. If the system taught financial literacy, people would not be so easy to control. If you knew how to create wealth on your own terms, you wouldn't need to rely on a job, a paycheck, or a government safety net. But that is exactly what the system wants: dependency. The school system rewards obedience, not intelligence. The students who follow the rules, complete their assignments without questioning, and accept what they are told are praised. Meanwhile, those who challenge the system, think critically, or refuse to conform are labeled as troublemakers. This is by design. Schools do not create innovators, they create workers who will spend their lives building wealth for someone else. You are trained to sit in a classroom for hours, conditioned to follow schedules, and disciplined if you step out of line, all preparing you for a lifetime of working under someone else's authority. The biggest lie you were ever told is that getting a degree guarantees success. Society has pushed the idea that education is the only path to financial stability, but in reality, it is often the first step into financial slavery. Universities charge obscene amounts of money for degrees that rarely translate into high-paying careers. Millions of people graduate with massive debt only to find themselves stuck in low-paying jobs, unable to escape the financial burden placed upon them. The education system does not exist to make you rich. It exists to make you a paying customer in a rigged game. Meanwhile, the richest people in the world, the ones who control industries, build empires, and create massive wealth, did not follow the traditional path. They did not rely on a degree to secure their future. They learned skills that the system doesn't teach. They mastered the art of making money work for them rather than trading their time for a paycheck. While you were being told to get good grades and find a stable job, they were learning how to invest, how to leverage assets, and how to think like owners, not employees. The worst part is that even after people realize this, most still defend the system. They believe they have no choice. They think the only way to survive is to play by the rules that were designed to keep them trapped. But the truth is, real education does not come from a classroom. It comes from experience, self-learning, and taking risks. If you want to break free, you must unlearn what the system has taught you and seek the knowledge that actually leads to success. The education scam is one of the greatest control mechanisms ever invented. It does not prepare you for wealth, it prepares you for a lifetime of servitude. The only way to escape is to take control of your own learning, develop valuable skills, and understand that the real lessons of success are never taught in school. The system does not want you to be rich, but you have the power to reject their programming and build a life on your own terms. The 9-to-5 job is one of the biggest traps society has ever created, yet millions of people willingly walk into it every single day. You are told that getting a stable job is the responsible thing to do, that working hard for a paycheck is the key to success, and that if you dedicate yourself to a company long enough, you will be rewarded. But the truth is, the system was never designed to make you wealthy or free. It was designed to keep you stuck in an endless cycle of survival. You trade your time, your energy, and your potential for a paycheck that barely covers your expenses, and if you stop working, your income stops too. That is not freedom. That is modern-day slavery disguised as security. From the moment you enter the workforce, you are placed on a treadmill that never stops moving. You wake up early, commute to work, spend 8 to 10 hours in an office or a job site, then come home too exhausted to do anything meaningful for yourself. By the time you finish eating, unwinding, and preparing for the next day, you barely have enough time left for personal growth or financial independence. The cycle repeats itself day after day, year after year, until you are too old to work, at which point you are thrown a retirement fund that barely allows you to survive. This is not a life of choice. It is a life of controlled existence. The biggest lie society tells you is that job security equals financial security. But in reality, having a job means you are always one decision away from being replaced. Companies do not care about your loyalty. They care about their bottom line. If they can find someone cheaper to do your job, they will. If they need to cut costs, they will fire you without hesitation. Meanwhile, the people who own the businesses, the ones who truly control wealth, never have to worry about getting laid off. They do not trade time for money because they understand that time is the most valuable asset a person has. The rich own assets that generate income even when they sleep, while the working class spends their entire lives working just to survive. Another flaw of the 9-to-5 system is the illusion of pay raises. You work hard, hoping for a promotion or a small increase in your salary, but even if you get it, inflation eats away at your earnings. No matter how much more you make, the cost of living rises and you find yourself in the same financial struggle year after year. The system is designed so that you never truly get ahead. You are given just enough to keep coming back, but never enough to break free. The worst part is that people defend this system because they have been conditioned to believe there is no alternative. They have been told that entrepreneurship is too risky, that investing is complicated, and that building wealth is only for the lucky or the privileged. But in reality, the only risk is staying trapped in a job that steals your potential. The real danger is spending decades working for someone else's dream while ignoring your own. Breaking free from the 9-to-5 trap requires a shift in mindset. You must stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. Instead of working for money, you must learn to make money work for you. The key is developing skills that allow you to create value on your own terms, whether through business, investments, or high-paying skills. The system will never teach you this because it does not benefit from your success. It benefits from your obedience. If you want to escape, you must take action. No one is going to hand you financial freedom. You have to fight for it. You have to break away from the fear of uncertainty and start building something for yourself. The 9-to-5 trap was designed to keep you weak, dependent, and broke. But the moment you decide to step outside of it and take control of your own destiny, you will realize that true freedom was never in a paycheck. It was in your ability to create wealth on your own terms. Society has programmed you to be a consumer, not a creator. From the moment you are old enough to understand money, you are bombarded with messages telling you to spend. Advertisements, social media, and marketing campaigns all push the same agenda. Buy more, upgrade, keep up with trends, and measure your success by what you own. The system conditions you to believe that happiness, status, and success are tied to material possessions. But in reality, this mindset is one of the biggest reasons people stay broke. The more you focus on spending, the less you focus on building wealth. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they spend everything they make. The moment money enters their hands, it leaves just as fast. They buy the newest phone, the latest fashion, or a luxury car they can't afford, all in an effort to impress people who don't care. Society has trained you to think like a consumer, ensuring that every dollar you earn flows back into the system instead of being used to secure your financial future. This is not an accident. The wealthy understand how money works, and they ensure that the majority of people remain in financial servitude by encouraging reckless spending. The rich don't waste money on liabilities, they invest in assets. They don't chase short-term pleasures, they focus on long-term financial independence. Meanwhile, the average person is too distracted with temporary luxuries to even think about financial growth. The system thrives on this imbalance. As long as you are spending, someone else is profiting, and the cycle continues. Take a look at how society influences your spending habits. Companies use psychological tactics to manipulate your decisions. They create artificial trends, making you feel like you need to upgrade even when your current possessions work perfectly fine. They use scarcity tactics like limited time offers and exclusive deals to create a false sense of urgency. They push financing options that make it easier for you to spend money you don't have, trapping you in a cycle of debt. Credit cards, loans, and buy now, pay later schemes are all tools used to keep you enslaved to the system. The worst part is that people justify their spending with excuses. They convince themselves that they deserve luxury, that they need to enjoy life, or that they will save money later, but later never comes. Instead of investing in their future, they invest in things that lose value the moment they buy them. A new car depreciates the second you drive it off the lot. Expensive clothes, shoes, and accessories become worthless as soon as the next trend arrives, but the habit of spending remains, and that habit keeps people financially weak. The solution is simple, but most people refuse to follow it. Stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like an investor. Every dollar you earn is a tool that can either work for you or against you. Instead of spending on liabilities, use your money to acquire assets, things that generate income, grow in value, or improve your financial position. Invest in real estate, stocks, businesses, or skills that will make you more money in the future. Learn how to multiply your wealth instead of wasting it on things that do nothing for you. Breaking free from the consumer mindset requires discipline and awareness. You must resist the temptation to keep up with trends, ignore the pressure to spend recklessly, and focus on what truly matters: financial freedom. The system will never encourage you to do this because it benefits from your ignorance. It wants you to remain trapped, constantly working to make money just so you can give it all back. The moment you break this cycle and start using money as a tool for freedom instead of a means for consumption, you take control of your financial future. The choice is yours: remain a slave to spending or take charge of your wealth and build real power. Modern society has created an epidemic of weakness, and most people don't even realize they're infected. The system is designed to keep you soft, complacent, and afraid to take control of your own life. Everywhere you look, you are encouraged to seek comfort, avoid struggle, and embrace mediocrity. Hardship is seen as something to be feared, rather than a necessary part of growth. Instead of pushing people to become stronger, more disciplined, and more capable, the world teaches them to make excuses, to seek handouts, and to accept failure as permanent. This mindset is exactly why so many people stay broke, powerless, and stuck in the same cycle for their entire lives. Weakness is rewarded in today's society. People are taught that their struggles are not their fault, that someone else is always to blame for their failures, and that they are entitled to success without putting in the effort to earn it. Governments, corporations, and media reinforce this belief by promoting victimhood, encouraging dependency, and making it easy for people to stay in a constant state of comfort. If you are always comfortable, you never have to push yourself, never have to struggle, and never have to fight for something greater. And if you never fight, you never win. Look at the way the modern world operates. Every difficult aspect of life has been replaced with an easy alternative. People no longer have to hunt for food, build their own shelters, or fight for survival. Everything is handed to them. Food is delivered at the push of a button. Entertainment is always within reach, and even the slightest inconvenience is seen as unbearable. The result? A society full of people who are physically, mentally, and financially weak. They have no resilience, no ability to endure hardship, and no hunger for success. The same mentality applies to financial success. Most people want to be rich, but they refuse to do what is necessary to achieve wealth. They dream about having money, but they are not willing to wake up early, put in the work, and sacrifice their temporary pleasures to build a future. They waste hours on distractions, mindlessly scrolling through social media, watching television, and playing video games, while complaining about being broke. They expect success to come easily, and when it doesn't, they blame external forces instead of taking responsibility for their own failures. The truth is, success does not come to the weak. It does not come to those who wait for opportunities to be handed to them. It comes to those who are willing to do whatever it takes to push past their limits and to embrace discomfort as a tool for growth. Strength is not given, it is built. And in a world that promotes weakness, you must choose to be strong. If you want to break free from this epidemic, you must reject the mindset that society has forced upon you. Stop seeking comfort and start seeking challenge. Stop making excuses and start taking action. Train your mind and body to endure hardship. Wake up earlier, work harder, push yourself beyond what you think you are capable of. The more you embrace struggle, the stronger you become. The more you seek discipline, the more powerful you grow. Society does not want you to be strong because strong individuals cannot be controlled. They cannot be manipulated into dependency, into servitude, or into mediocrity. The moment you decide to take ownership of your life, to reject weakness, and to embrace strength, you become unstoppable. The weak will always find reasons to stay where they are. The strong will always find a way to rise. The choice is yours. The harsh reality of life is that no one is coming to save you. From the moment you are born, you are conditioned to believe that there is always someone who will look out for you, your parents, the government, your employer, or society itself. You are told that if you work hard, follow the rules, and stay patient, life will reward you. But this is a lie. The truth is, no one is responsible for your success except you. If you wait for someone to rescue you from your struggles, you will spend your entire life waiting. The only way to break free from financial struggle and powerlessness is to take full control of your own destiny. Society does not want you to be independent, it wants you to be dependent. It wants you to rely on a paycheck, to rely on the government for help, and to rely on external forces to dictate your future. Why? Because dependence equals control. The more you believe that someone else is responsible for your life, the easier it is for you to be manipulated. You are trained from a young age to trust the system, to believe that the education system, the job market, and the financial institutions have your best interests at heart. But in reality, they are designed to keep you weak, compliant, and waiting for help that will never come. Look around you. How many people complain about their circumstances but do nothing to change them? They blame the economy, the government, their employer, or their family for their struggle. They sit around waiting for the right opportunity or for someone to recognize their worth and give them a chance. But the truth is, success is not handed out. No one is coming to knock on your door and offer you a better life. If you are struggling, if you are broke, if you are unhappy with where you are, it is on you to fix it. The problem is that most people don't want to hear this. They want to believe that success is a matter of luck or that some people are just born rich while others are doomed to struggle forever. They want to believe that life is unfair and that their failures are not their fault, but this mindset is exactly what keeps them trapped. The moment you realize that no one is coming to save you is the moment you take back your power. If you want to succeed, you must become self-reliant. You must stop depending on others to solve your problems and start building solutions for yourself. This means educating yourself on how money works, learning valuable skills, and taking action every single day to improve your situation. It means sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term success. It means taking full responsibility for every aspect of your life, your finances, your health, your relationships, and your future. The truth is, the most successful people in the world are not the ones who waited for opportunities, they created them. They did not sit around hoping for things to get better, they made things better through action. They took risks, they failed, they learned, and they kept moving forward. They understood that the only person who can change their life is themselves. If you are waiting for the perfect moment to start, you will be waiting forever. If you are hoping for someone to fix your problems, you will remain stuck. The only way to escape the system that is designed to keep you weak and broke is to take full control of your own destiny. The moment you stop expecting help and start building your own success is the moment you become truly free. No one is coming to save you. It is up to you to save yourself.